Okay, thank you for the introduction. Thank you for having me as part of this summit for the second time. It's a pleasure to be here. My name is Rodrigo Caetano, as introduced, and I'll start with a very quick background of myself. I work for the company Scania, headquartered in Sweden, and I work in the business area Autonomous Solutions. And this team is in the lead of defining the future of the business when it comes to autonomous transport mobility of goods and people. So we are looking after partnerships, market development, venture business, and sustainable solutions, of course. Then, for those who are not so familiar with the company Scania, I'm going to start with a very short introduction about the company. We are a world-leading provider of transport solutions, including trucks and buses for heavy transport applications, combined with an extensive product-related services. But also, Scania is a leading provider of industrial and marine engines as well. We are in about 100 countries with 55,000 employees, with research and development activities in Sweden, Brazil, and India, and production in Europe, Latin America, and Asia, with regional production centers in Africa, Asia, and Eurasia as well. Now, going to the point of the presentation, what you see here is a time lapse of the development of transportation through time. So the introduction of the wheel brought revolution to both our everyday life, transportation and warfare, and then came the steam engine, which enabled the industrial revolution, as we know, affecting both mining sites, factories, ships, and locomotives. And then the oil and the internal combustion engine came, and for being small and mobile, they brought the next step of revolution to the transport of people and goods. And each one of these followed an accelerating growth curve from early adoption to more widespread reach. These shifts were drivers of economic growth, but at the same time, they polluted the planet. So, why is this historical flashback important? It is important because it tells us that the world has always needed transportation, and it will continue to need more and more in the future, but it cannot be toxic to safeguard the well-being of the planet and us as inhabitants of this planet. So we have to build a new transportation system that is sustainable and does not provoke any harm to the environment. That means that we need to change or transform the world of transport again, and this time towards a more sustainable future. And this, the answer for this we find in connectivity, electrification, and autonomous. So we're going to see that there are disruptive trends that affect our industry specifically. It is about technological advancement within the areas connected, electrified, and autonomous, which will tell us how the vehicle of the future will look like. And actually, this is already happening under the surface. While it is easy to dismiss such a scenario as a too far-fetched at first glance, the development in several of these areas are already becoming reality or are already a reality. As for example, for ports with fully automated loading and unloading operations, which are already today state of the art. Broad variety of automated solutions within warehousing is available, logistics, and so on. So this is not the future; it's actually happening now. When it comes to Scania and autonomous solutions at Scania, I'm going to share with you what we are doing. And the fastest, easiest, and simplest way to implement autonomous solutions is in a controlled and predictable environment. Example, geofenced areas with no access to the public, and so on. Hence, it makes sense to start with hub and hub-to-hub applications, such as you can see in the picture, such as mining and construction, harbor and industrial applications, and evolving to logistics applications as well. The next step, which we experience growing at a fast pace today, is the public transport, and it has all of its challenges, such as mixed traffic, public access, ticketing systems, diverse weather conditions when operations cannot stop, and so on. This is long. And latest, it will come city distribution as a very challenging environment where everything happens dynamically. So this is the evolution path that we at Scania are focusing at. And on top of this, so we have our intelligent control environment to control the fleet of autonomous vehicles, because we know that something needs to control the vehicle, so the vehicle is not controlled by themselves. The vehicles are not controlled by themselves. So on this Scania intelligent control environment is being built to monitor and control the fleet of autonomous vehicles. What you see here in this picture is based on the trends and our own internal assessment on their impact. We created this picture that shows how transportation will look like in the future. This picture is mainly related to the transportation of goods, but it serves for its purpose to show the autonomous systems. So the entire transport chain will see a much higher degree of automation and digitalization compared to today. There will be autonomous warehouses, automated loading, while the Internet of Things, so-called IoT, will increase transparency in combination with, or that in combination with artificial intelligence will boost efficiency. In long haul, on most roads, transport will be autonomous and electrified. So the implementation of autonomous vehicles will likely start by connecting automated harbors and warehouses, as we saw in the previous picture, and also interlink it with traditional transport modes. But from there, it will rapidly expand where possible due to the cost benefits. So here in this picture, you see a graph by futurists where the statement is that industrial business transformation will generate significant new profit pools, and pre-existing profit pools are bound to shrink, mainly driven by digitalization, shifting the focus onward from traditional physical products to intelligent and connected products, as well as with the service ecosystem related autonomous capabilities and data, because we see a lot of talks about data monetization today. Then what we experience is a marked disruption and emerging business models. So you can see on the right hand side here that new transportation use case will emerge from autonomous vehicles based on what is transported, the ownership model, operational model, where, etc. And use cases will drive business model and revenue potential. And this is a disruption because we see it's already happening from example from private ownership to shared mobility with mobility as a service systems, and beyond that, transport as a service as well. And the TCO due to autonomous and electrification is enormous. So autonomous drive and electrification will also drastically change the cost of transportation. The TCO advantage of an autonomous, electrified and connected truck or bus is so enormous that we believe that it will accelerate implementation. And also, the telecom operators will capitalize beyond the traditional mobile broadband subscription model that exists today as telcos are an important part of the ecosystem as provider of connectivity and related services. And this is my last slide, and here I just want to introduce you to NXT, which is a vision of the future for transport in cities. This is a concept. It's not reality today. It's a concept for 2030 and beyond. NXT is Scania's new battery electric self-driving urban concept vehicle with the front and rear drive models being able to be fitted to a bus body distribution truck or a refuse collector. So it is designed with the flexibility to shift from ferrying commuters to and from work and schools in the mornings and evenings, and delivering goods during the day and collecting refuse at night, for example. So NXT has been designed as a prototype for testing and evaluation, but also to be exhibited to get the feedback on the concept. With this, I end my presentation here. And as said before, we are driving the shift towards a more sustainable and promising future. Thanks for listening. Keep in touch.